The guy with unusual programs impressed the audience and deservedly took the gold. On January 27th, at the European Championships, which takes place in Espoo, Finland, the second set of awards was played. Men's single skaters competed for medals. In February 2023, the ISU plans to again present its analog of the Oscar to skaters. The skating awards will be held with spectators and show numbers. The European champion Siao Him Fa was not shortlisted for the most spectacular program, losing to Hanyu, Carrillo and Papadakis with Scissorin, although his 2-episode production this season is a real masterpiece. They came up with it and what is the idea in a bunch of rentals. Fa for a long time kept in the shadow of teammate Kevin Imo. He lost the French championship 4 times in a row. The first victory happened this season, and even got into the free program at Euro 2020, only due to the fact that the favorite compatriot skated even worse, and free place in the top 24. At the home stage of the Grand Prix, Adam risked being left behind the main star again, but Imo withdrew due to injury. Fa not only won, but also ignited with the most unusual program of the season, a 2-episode melodrama with a happy ending. The short program is a memory of the relationship between my hero and one person. I made a mistake and after a quarrel on a rainy evening, everything ends, and I regret that the relationship ended that way. In the free program, I go back in time to get a second chance. I managed to correct the mistake, and I atone for all sins. Adam himself describes the plot in this way. The productions are connected not only by the libretto, but also by many details from almost identical costumes, only the color is different, red in the short and green in the free one, and the ticking of the clock at the beginning to a single choreography. In order to immerse yourself in memories, the skater each time touches his head and chest, and then gesture shows rewind. The final of each series is also made very clear. If the short Fa finishes on his knees, then at the end of the free program he triumphantly throws his hand up. The originality of the programs does not spoil even a rather banal choice of music. Rain, in Your Black Eyes in the short, is strongly associated with the Olympic champions from China Sui Han, and the emotional ending under Woodkate in the free program reminds of Nathan Chen. An unusual plot was invented by Benoit Cho, the author of many creative programs. An emotional monologue about strong women in Kaori Sakamoto's Olympic free skate, Brady Tennell's Modern Gears, her new production, with inserts from Greta Thunberg's speech, is also prepared by Richo, stylish The Fire Within, which featured Rika Kahira's somersault in front of the step sequence. This season, Richo also crossed paths with the Russian team. However, the result of the joint work of the choreographer, Diana Davis and Gleb Smolkin, was hidden from the audience for the time being, limited to a teaser. Adam himself also performs unusual programs not for the first time. In Beijing 2022, he performed with a short to the Star Wars soundtrack. The main feature is a step track to the hip-hop arrangement of the Imperial March, and a free program to Daft Punk. Despite his relatively young age for men's skating, January 31, he will turn 22, Fa managed to work with various coaches and choreographers. At the dawn of his career, Joubert helped him, Morozov and Berza staged several programs. But it seems that it was the style of Richo that turned out to be especially close to the athlete. Multi-part productions are not know-how in figure skating. Sometimes the plot fits into a short and arbitrary one season, like Far Dennis 10 in Artist. Sometimes it lasts for years, dull by Astakova and Roganov. Of course, developing a story alone is more difficult. You have to act out all the scenario turns yourself, while not forgetting about the elements. More time is spent on the production itself. 10, for example, said that he worked with Laurie Nicole on The Artist for about a month, although the production of ordinary programs took several days. 4 quads were enough to win the autumn French Grand Prix. Fa. Adam managed what even Imo did not do, win the home stage for the first time since Joubert. Fa called him his role model after the competition. Adam's main trouble, as well as Kevin, by the way, is instability. Even within the current season, he managed to accelerate from a disastrous 147 points for an arbitrary to top 180. Home tournaments with loyal refereeing do not count. Due to nerves, Fa did not qualify for the Grand Prix final, failing the Japanese stage, and almost missed the European title the day before, losing in the free skate to Matteo Rizzo. Adam's award is extremely important not only for himself, but also for France, which has not won the Euros since 2011. For the next 12 years, Spain represented by Fernandez and Russia, Plushenko, Aliyev, Kondratyuk, kept other countries away from gold. Fa is a classic champion against all odds. He got into figure skating because his grandparents kept a sporting goods store, encouraged the active hobbies of their grandchildren. Adam is the fourth child in the family, and his mother agreed to take him to the skating rink 210 kilometers from home, when the ice arena was nearby close with the house. Due to the pandemic, Fa's debut in the Grand Prix series shifted, and he could not get to the games in Beijing in principle. France received only one quota at the World Qualifiers, and Adam had to go to the Nebelhorn Trophy qualifying for the second. However, participation in the Olympics was under threat to the last. Already in China, the skater passed a false positive test for coronavirus, and during the quarantine on a nervous basis, he developed an attack of eczema. The roller coaster of Fa's career after winning the French championship could have thrown him back again. Having skated the best short in his career at the Euro and seized the lead, Adam got nervous in the free program. He unsuccessfully left the quadruple Salchow immediately after it fell from the toe loop and was forced to redraw the cascades towards simplification. If both rentals of Rizzo were not even more difficult, but just a little cleaner, the Italian would be the new European champion. But Adam was able to fix everything just like in the plot of a masterpiece free skate. Maurice Kotelashvili performed in the second warm-up. He failed to break the mark of 200 points in two rentals. Nicky Egids coped with almost all the elements, and for the first time in his career, got into the top 10 at the European Championships. Daniel Grassl was also, unfortunately, wrong. Moreover, Daniel faced bullying for leaving to train at Krystalny before the European Championships. An incredible flurry of criticism and indignation from foreign fans almost broke Daniel Grassl at the European Championship. A stream of negativity from the West fell upon him due to cooperation with the coaching staff of Tubbirds. The failure of the Italian in the short program was considered by many to be a fair retribution and an occasion to celebrate his failure with malicious comments. After the rental, the skater honestly admitted that it was very difficult for him to perform. The evil words of figure skating fans hurt the athlete. But they didn't break it. He did not give up the opinion that there is no place for politics in sports, and was not afraid to say that he liked to train with Tubbirds. Daniel's courageous position aroused great respect among Russian fans. He was actively supported in social networks, and fingers crossed for the athlete in the free program. As a result, he rose from 8th place and closed the top 6. I knew it was going to be tough for me here, because I feel all the pressure and hype, even the condemnation of my decision to change my training location. It hurts me a lot to hear all this, but I'm still glad that I made this decision. I feel like I'm getting stronger, more mature, Grassl said. Unfortunately, Daniel Grassl did not manage to skate cleanly on the final day of the competition among men's singles. He fell off the hardest quad Lutz, and made a mistake on the road from a quad flip. Nevertheless, his emotional return and struggle despite evil tongues behind his back touched the hearts of Russians. And also how Daniel Blakengaz and Sergei Dudikov worried about the athlete behind the side. This is what the team means. Grassl spent less than a month at Krystalny, but he can already feel at home there. Well, how not to hurt him? Of course, it is unlikely that Daniel will read the numerous comments in Russian, but their positive charge will in any case envelop him with invisible protection. Such ardent support in a foreign country for him proves that big sport should serve to unite people and erase all boundaries. I wish Daniel good luck in the free skate. If he wants to improve, well done. He likes training at Krystalny, it's wonderful. Go ahead and ignore the haters. The road will be mastered by the walking one, wrote Lyudmila Kashlikova. I remember how, after the short program at the last European Championships, when our beau monde, even from those who were not expected, poured negative on Anya Shubakova, Daniel spoke out in her support. Let this kindness return to Daniel. Let him succeed in the free program. Added viewer A. Let him live in Russia, writes Regina Ray. He had such despair and confusion in his eyes at the end of the program that it was a pity for the guy. And a lot of hate will be added now, Olga wrote. Poor boy. Daniel is a very good skater. I believe that in a free program he will succeed. Let him show the whole world that they are telling lies about him. Comment from Lesia. And this is in a tolerant Europe, where everyone is for free choice. In that Europe where you can change gender, religion, skin color, but you can't change your coach. I always knew that all freedom there is fake, everyone lives on the same agenda as the majority. It's a pity. Good luck to Grassl, Europe has shown its true face. Writes Daria Belova. I didn't want to watch this circus because of the absence of our athletes on principle, but now I'll watch it on principle and root for it. Evgenia reacted. In fact, it is strange to expect immediate results from Daniel's cooperation with Tutberts' coaching staff. As the skater himself said, he works for the future. The main thing is that he has the motivation and desire to improve. This is probably the most difficult tournament in my life. I did not know how the audience would accept me. I was very afraid of the reaction of the audience. But, you know, it's easy to judge and condemn when you don't know anything about an athlete, what drives him and what he has inside. But I have to think about myself and my interests. Yes, any skater has ups and downs, but I believe that I will rise and be able to collect myself again. In Moscow, we tried to work on both jumping and sliding techniques, but there was not enough time. I believe that if I can train there more time, I will grow in all aspects of my skating. Daniel Blakingas helps me a lot with skating, but in general the entire staff of Krystalny works with me. They are always together in my training, everyone helps, prompts and corrects something. Said Grassl. Daniel ended up in 6th place, moving up thanks to the free skate. Russian fans also believe in a bright future for Daniel. Writing has become more aesthetic. Credit here for the work. Writes Sherebrny Surfer. I wish Daniel peace and confidence. Everything will work out. And the comments were, RN will be. Don't let them influence your condition like that. Elena Tuchka.